you go.
Hello, I thought Manny fought a pretty good fight tonight. I thought it was the best fight of the trilogy, and he showed me that he was aggressive at times, and after his opponents, I was really happy with the way Manny fought tonight. I thought he did very well. Any questions?
Freddie, I'm just curious, has he evolved into a different kind of fighter than he was in that, you know, when he was beating Matt and Oscar Cotto? Is his style different now? He's more patient?
He's not as aggressive as he was back then, but I think it's coming back. We did see signs in his training camp that he was getting more aggressive, and he was for a while there, he just said he just has to beat his opponents. He doesn't have to knock them out. But today, he looked like he was looking for a knockout because when he hurt Bradley, he went after him, and he really tried to knock him out. And it was really good to see. And I think that's where the old man in Pacquiao, that's the way he used to be, and that's why he was such an exciting fighter.
What would you make, you know, there's been talk, I mean, I think it's a little too big with talk of him fighting Canelo, and you're fighting a guy that comes in the ring weighing 170. How would Manny have to fight a guy like that? And with this kind of fighter where it was more patient and maybe more economical with his punches and not creating openings, be more effective than he would have been had he been more wild?
Right, you know, Canelo's a big guy, and the thing is, I mean, if we did fight a guy like that, I'm sure we'd have to put a cap on how much he could gain after the weigh-in. But, you know, my favorite fight is Terrence Crawford, though, because Manny's best fighting weight is still 140 pounds, and I think that's a great fight for us.
Hey, Freddie, in that final minute with the fans standing cheering for Manny, did you allow yourself a brief moment just to think about what this journey has been like? And if it did indeed end tonight, what will always stick in your mind about it?
Well, you know, it was, you know, we talked about it might be in his last pro fight, and you know, I said go out with a bang. I said let's look at doing it, and he did that, and I'm very happy. And if he does decide to retire, I'll be 100% behind him. But you know, he's talking about maybe going to the Olympics and maybe fighting this guy or that guy, but I'm not really sure if he's going to retire yet, but you know, it's a difficult sport to quit. It's really hard to retire, and I think he hasn't realized that yet, but he will soon.
How heavily in his ear are you going to be? Are you going to talk to him for sure before he leaves for the Philippines to say, look, you still got it, this Crawford fight is appetizing?
No, I told him already. I said you still have a lot of fight left in you. You have to slow down a bit. He hasn't really shown signs of wear and tear. And again, I thought at moments he looked better than he has in a long time. And you know, when I see maybe aggressive like that, that's the best man to knock out. That's when he's at his best.
Freddie, was that your game plan tonight? The patience? Is that what you came in wanting to do?
Yeah, we had the feeling that he was going to maybe move on us a little bit and try to be a little bit of a counter puncher. And he did, and you know, maybe I said maybe future speed and momentum, and we have to throw a lot of combinations. And he did okay with that, but he can do a lot better because the volume of punches, I thought it should have been a little bit higher, and I think with a higher volume of punches, he possibly could have knocked him out.
Thank you.
Freddie in the 8th round. I think Tim got him with a good left hook, and then they were back on the ropes. And eventually, Manny tied him up, and then he whispered something into his ear. And it seemed like even when Manny was getting hit, and when he was hitting, there seemed to be a joy and a smile there a little bit. Can you talk about his attitude? I mean, have you seen a joy from him, in this fight maybe that you haven't seen in recent years? And how hard is that attitude? Give me something for him to walk away from.
I saw him smiling quite a bit in the ring tonight, and that just shows me how much he loves the sport, and he was really happy with what he was doing. It wasn't a complete comeback from Manny Pacquiao, but it was a good first step. And the thing is, I like that he was aggressive, and again, when he hurt his opponent, he went after it and did what he was supposed to do.
Freddie, when you say it wasn't a complete comeback, what was it? What didn't he do that you wanted to see from him? Did he start too slowly?
He started a little bit too slow, yes, and the volume of punches that he threw, I don't think were enough, because I know he has, he's very capable of throwing a lot more fast combinations in normal 6-8 punch, 9 punch combination. He really can fire like that. He has the ability to throw that number of punches with his speed, and he was more content 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4 at the most. So I think he obviously has room for improvement in that area. Yes.
Well, Freddie, just straight up, do you want him to continue to fight?
We've had a great 15 years together. If he retires, I'll be happy for him. That's kind of up to him. I know he's in physical shape to keep fighting. He hasn't lost a beat. His legs so good. His work ethic is great. He can continue to fight on, but if he retires, he spends more time with his family, and he enjoys life. He has something to fall back on, because he possibly could be a senator by then. I'd be 100% behind him, yes.
Freddie, if he retires, would you retire? Is there any chance this is your last fight?
I'm not ready to retire yet. I guess I don't have enough hobbies, and I don't have anything to fall back on. This is what I do. I do it every day of my life. I got a couple young prospects coming up in the gym right now. I got Pacquiao'S fighting on the next big show, and he's one of my good young fighters, and I look forward to him when the world titles soon. Ramirez, of course, yes.
And to follow up on your comment before when you talked about the volume of punches, I had asked Bob about that. Manny threw 10 more punches himself in the first fight against Bradley than the combined total tonight. Is there any way that the lack of punches that he threw was a sign of his age, and the fact that maybe an older fighter can't get off the way a younger fighter could?
I think it's more of his mindset. He really doesn't want to really hurt anybody, and I think he was slowly getting out of that, because he was throwing vicious punches tonight. You could hear the punches land, and it was really a lot better than it's been in a long time. And I think it's just maybe the beginning of bringing back the old man Pacquiao. So that's why I would like to see him fight again, yes.
Could you say a little bit about Jose Ramirez and his...
Jose did very well. He had a very tough fight coming home. He won almost every round, but again, we had to work on his defense a little bit. I want more ground and jab a little bit more. He does have a good jab, and sometimes he gets a little carried away, and he tries to knock him off a little bit too far distance, but he is a very good prospect. He's 13 now, and we're about ready to step up to the top 10 level type guys, and I hope we gets the title shot by the end of the year.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
One thing I won't miss, now that Manny is retired, these press conferences with Manny after a fight where I get out of here in time for breakfast. I mean, for me, I can miss a meal, right, the way I look. These girls are hungry.